it's crazy, but it's
You're watching Channel Zed, the world's leading zombie apocalypse channel, broadcasting live from Studio Zed.
makes me act the way I do.
This is Undead Live Morning Edition, reporting live from the front lines of the zombie apocalypse. We have your back morning, noon, and night, whether you're dead, undead, recently deceased, or fully alive. I'm Athena Actipus.
And I am Dave Lindbergh-Kenrick, and we are 3 days away from the big launch. Do you want to tell us about that, Athena?
3 days away from the zombie apocalypse medicine meeting.
Yeah, that's the I mean, we're in the apocalypse, and so the medicine meeting might be our last hope for regrouping and surviving, right?
Yeah, we're hoping that we can bring all of our creative energy and improvisational tools to the table so that we can better deal with this apocalyptic situation that we found ourselves in.
Yeah, this perfect storm of so many zombie apocalypses happening at once. But we've got a really good team of people to help us through it.
Yeah, so I don't know any other possible Z team that I would want by my side other than the group that we have producing and hosting all of our shows on Channel Zed and for Zam. And today we're going to get to chat with a bunch of them and talk a little bit about what's going to be happening later this week for Zam.
That's right. And we would encourage, so today you guys are going to get a good preview, and we would encourage everybody, if you haven't signed up for Zam, to do so. So
you can register at zombiemed.org and join us for the entire meeting, including interactive workshops, morning events, evening events, and all of our live streams, of course, as well.
Yeah. So, well, great.
So, Dave, I have to tell you one thing that I absolutely cannot wait for Zam is hearing the premiere of the zombie Anthem, which has been written and produced by Baba Brinkman, who is, I believe, the world's only peer-reviewed rapper.
Yes, I can't wait either. And he's got a music video and everything, so I think it's gonna be really fun.
And he is here today to join us so that we can chat a little bit about the process of working on this amazing song that Baba has put together. And I think you're gonna give us a little preview, right, Baba?
Yes, indeed. The world premiere. Hi, Athena. Hi, Dave. Great to be here. This was such a great project to be able to dig my teeth into. Athena, you and Joe Alcock sent me some great source material in terms of how can we relate to the zombie experience. Let's look at some parasitized organisms in nature who are clearly not acting in their own interests, but instead doing the bidding of the parasites. And I tried to get into the mindset of what it would feel like to be some of those organisms and do
Baba,
a little rap narrative.
Like maybe, do you have a Orpheocordyceps fungus coming out of your head?
Yeah, precisely. This is my little ant friend here that is repping the concept, and you play. He's part of the zombie apocalypse, and if I set it up just right, now it's me. I'm the bullet ant.
Awesome, Baba. Would you give us a little preview of the zombie anthem?
All right, here we go. First ever live performance. I've been in my studio cooking this up, recording the lyrics and shooting the music video and stuff. So the music video is in production. I just saw the first cut today. It looks amazing. It's coming together really nice. But all right, here we go. So beat produced by Mr. Simmons. This is called Ballad of a Zombie. It's the ballad of a zombie. Like a slave to a parasite. I got a hatchet and a bayonet. It's the lament of a zombified marionette. I feel my limbs moving, but I'm unaware of intent. Like there's something parasitic in them. I can't escape inexplicable forces. Got me sprinkling spores just like a bullet ant. Infected with Ophiocordyceps, gripping the branch. Fungus ripping my cortex. Every leaf in the forest littered with corpses. I can relate. Parasitic organisms promote their fitness at the expense of a host and evolve to control them better, and hosts evolve defenses to protect their own interests and fall victim to novel stimuli like scrolling Twitter. Hijack, you got me screenified. Hits of dopamine arrive, extended phenotype, retweets and likes, keeping eyes locked like a green-banded broodsack worm in a snail's eye stalk. So this goes out to all the profiles I stalk. It's the ballad of a zombie. I don't know who's in control, but it's not me. The ballad of a zombie. I feel an urgent pull and it's got me feeling like a zombie, like a slave to a parasite. I get it off me. Brains got me acting wonky. The ballad of a zombie. Yeah, I'm zombified for the thrill of it. I'm jacked on euphoria, cicadas high on psilocybin, dripping massive spora, abdomen a mass of spores, junk completely gone, and all they want to do is get their freak on to the zombie theme song, a parasitic meme song. Apparently we evolved to pass genes and these on over eons, ideas, beliefs, thoughts, true or not. You're nothing to them but a cockroach to a jewel wasp. And yeah, some of those memes do keep you alive, just long enough for their progeny to eat your insides, defend your beliefs till you die, despite the blunt trauma like a caterpillar defending a pupating wasp larva. Horrible, but part of our lives, unignorable, posting articles online because someone called you deplorable, curating your feed when you're the feed, the product being sold like a crab grooming a sack of Sacchalina barnacles. So shout out to everyone who's ever been part of a cult. There we go.
Wow, that was amazing, Baba.
It was infectious, really. I think
that's what we're going for. Like, you know, what's crazy is my 3-year-old has been walking around the house all day, like the ballad of a zombie. Like knows all the words. I hope it goes all the way.
Awesome, Baba. What was your favorite part of working on this song?
You know, I feel like just learning about all these organisms and trying to find like clever rhymes for the Latin-derived Linnaean taxonomy words. You know, I didn't know if that was going to work, and it really did work. And also, I watched a movie a couple weeks ago called The Social Dilemma, which is about you know, the use of users of social media platforms as products and the design of algorithms to try to maximize the addictiveness of interacting with their little meme platforms. So that gave me a hook when I was like, okay, like what's the thing in the modern world that most zombifies us? And it is clearly social media. And I'm a victim of Twitter scrolling to the nth degree. My wife will be very happy to tell you. So, you know, that was the kind of relatability. And then it was mixing up the organisms, you know, like when I'm scrolling Twitter, I'm like a green banded broodsack worm in a snail's eye stalk. And the sort of blinging eyes of the snail to a bird is like a Twitter feed to a screen addict or whatever. So I didn't know the links really when I started writing it, but when they started to emerge, I was like, this works.
Yeah, I love when you talk about memes and what you compare it to, like a cockroach and a jewel wasp.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, the memes are positive. They keep us alive just long enough for their progeny to eat your insides. Like, yeah, lots of parasites keep their hosts alive as well. It's beneficial, right?
Yeah. Amazing. Hey, Baba, I'm going to bring in Dr. Zed, who also was part of putting this whole concept together for, you know, zombification in general and, you know, how we get hijacked. And we've been, you know, working, looking at your lyrics and talking about them and having a lot of fun. So, so Dr. Zed, how are you? And what happened to your head?
I don't know what you're talking about. No. Yeah. So, but before I get into that, little details like, you know, wounds and, you know, various things like that, I want to thank the great Baba Brinkman for laying down that track, putting together a really creative, amazing musical and scientific experience for us for the Zombie Apocalypse Medicine meeting, which is happening this week. So yeah, I am Dr. Zed this week during the Zombie Apocalypse Medicine meeting. I'll be on the Dr. Zed show. Register there at zombiemed.org. You'll find the link there to register. It's not too late. So please do get on that right away. And I'm excited about a lot of things. As you can see, I do have a little wound here. When you're sleep deprived, trying to prepare for the apocalypse, sometimes you run into things, you get a little wound on your head. Sometimes you fall. So I've been trying to gather up supplies, get my go bag. And this is I can do a little shout out for Emily Zarka's go bag challenge. But in particular, the Dr. Zed show will be talking about some of the things that Baba brought up, how we get zombified by infectious disease, how the things that we do, the exposures that we have, the things that we eat, why eating brains is probably a bad idea unless you're a zombie. And I'll be talking about how we protect ourselves, how you protect other people during the zombie apocalypse. I have a bunch of really exciting special guests, people that I used to work with in the before this apocalypse. People like Daryl Macias, who is a wilderness and disaster medicine expert. People like Drew Harrell, who does tactical medicine and can talk about ballistics and the best way to stop a zombie in its tracks. Amanda Gallagher, Clint Kalin, amazing emergentologists and resuscitationists at my program who are going to join me to talk about some of these amazing things. So yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for letting me introduce the Dr. Zed show to this audience.
Joe, can I ask you, when you held up your bag, you had something that looked like either a giant bag of candies or marbles. What was that?
This.
Yes.
This here. This is a blood pressure cuff.
Ah, that seems more useful than a bag of marbles. But
it's actually balloons.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, but when you're assembling your go bag and you want your medical gear, we're gonna toss this. We don't need a blood pressure cuff.
Oh no!
You can tell if someone has a blood pressure if they're talking to you. That means they're getting enough blood to their brain, hopefully, if they have a brain, to be able to, So blood pressure cuff. This is useless. Let me show you something which is useful. Duct tape. Duct tape will come in handy during the zombie apocalypse. This got to have something to cut with. So this is my trusty K-bar. Anyway, we'll be talking about these details in great detail during the upcoming week.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Zed. Really appreciate some tips there also for our go bags. I will remove the blood pressure cuff that I never had in my go bag from my go bag, now that I know. So we have another awesome host who is joining us today. Erica O'Neill is the co-host of Eat, Pray, Run. Erica, welcome. What are you looking forward to with your Eat, Pray, Run episodes later this week?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to chatting with Rob Dunn, who is also hosting it. He's a professor in the Department of Biological Sciences at North Carolina State University, and he has come up with wonderful talking points across all of our guests. Yeah, so we've got Eat, Pray, Run, which we're branding as kind of slow food in the apocalypse, but slow food in the apocalypse doesn't mean you're going to end up on the menu. We're going to teach you how to feed yourself, feed the zombies around you, maybe even to keep you safe in the apocalypse. We have people that are talking about zombie food preferences, so different tastes and smells and how the undead would prefer to eat. That's Peter Todd and Ann Barwich on Thursday. Friday, we've got a couple master bakers who are joining us, which I'm really excited about. Michael Calanthe and Peter Reinhardt. They're going to talk about how bread can maybe restore our humanity in the zombie apocalypse. And I want to know how many loaves of sourdough they may have baked in the past 6 months up in quarantine here. And then we've got Diego Guevara Beltran and Gwyneth Gordon on Saturday. They're going to be talking about zombie food sharing and sort of different preferences and how we should feed the undead. And then they're including some vegan brain options, which I found fascinating in talking to them. So they've got grand ideas. And we're going to wrap it up on Sunday with Greg Popovich and Corey Wisner on the nutritional considerations of eating brains. So that slide that you had before with the fast and slow running zombies, that's one of them. So what you eat depends on what type of zombie you are, what the caloric intake is, and sort of the nutrients that you're getting.
Awesome. And there's some nice resonance there with Dr. Zed, actually, because Dr. Zed, on one of your shows, right, you're going to be discussing how to safely eat brains.
Well, we do have a Dr. Zed episode entitled Brain Food with Dr. Zed. We'll use this as a taking off point to talk about whether it's a good idea to eat human brains under any circumstances. We'll be talking about diseases that you can get from eating brains, both in the pre-apocalyptic times as well as now during the zombie apocalypse.
Very, very important information to know. Also, if you do turn into a zombie, you want to know how to eat those brains safely and what kind of nutritional requirements you might not be meeting if you are only eating brains. So
this conversation is making me surprisingly hungry, considering.
Right?
Yeah. Like,
Absolutely.
man. So,
well, Dave, we know that you like brains, so
I do,
it doesn't
yeah,
really come
so.
as a surprise to me, at least. All right. Well, speaking of really delicious brains, we have Liz joining us as well, who is the host of Brain Dead Theater. Liz, thanks so much for coming on to talk a little bit about what we can expect from Brain Dead Theater during ZAM. What are you most looking forward to?
First, Athena, thank you so much for calling my brains delicious. That makes me really happy. And I think, bringing your popcorn or your brains to Brain Dead Theater would be awesome. I think one of the things I'm really excited about, my co-host and I, Ilana Rein, who you'll meet, I think, a little bit later today, will be highlighting all of the things that we forgot we learned from zombie movies. So what we can learn from zombie media in the zombie apocalypse. How we can learn from the media of the before times, right? So Steve Schlotzman will be showing these clips to talk about how we deal with chaos, how we deal with a lack of leadership now. Nzilikaze Kone will talk about race and capitalism and zombification. So, I'm going to bring up Amazon. And then George Hagman will be there to kind of close out our Brain Dead Theater at ZAM to talk about hope and hopelessness and resiliency and kind of what good examples of being resilient is and how we can fail at being resilient. So I think that it's about all of the different things that zombies can be and all the things that zombify us and how we can learn from those things.
Amazing. Well, I cannot wait to see those clips and then discover all these things that I should be watching that I haven't watched yet. Also, every time you do a show, I'm like, oh, I have to watch that. I have to, watch that movie. I have to binge watch that show.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some good recommendations for people out there that like zombie media. So definitely tune in.
I did a live show on St. Patrick's Day last year for an extremely drunk late night crowd at the Soho Playhouse off Broadway. So I could definitely relate to the Brain Dead Theater experience.
I
Right.
love that. I'm going to bring that up.
That's another twist on it.
That's awesome.
Awesome. And Liz, now your co-host for Brain Dead Theater is also our very own director of all of Channel Zed, Ilana Rein. Ilana, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on to chat with us a little bit about Brain Dead Theater and about Channel Zed in general. What are your feelings now, just in the last few days leading up to the launch of our whole meeting, 3.5 days straight?
Yeah, hard to believe. Hey, Athena. Hey, team. How's it going? I'm happy to report from Los Angeles that we seem to have a bit of a lull in the apocalypse, which is good. It's given me time to actually be outside, although every now and then we do have some really new adaptive zombies appear. Some have learned how to use leaf blowers, and I'm not sure it's for clearing lawns. So I'm keeping an eye on that in terms of any sort of late breaking apocalypse stuff that might have to rearrange the studios. In terms of our shows, I know I'm especially excited to tune into Erica's Eat, Pray, Run for just basic survival tips on what to eat, because we had a bit of a grocery debacle here in Los Angeles not too long ago, where a lot of stuff was not available. And of course, Dr. Zed, I may have to talk to you in a few minutes off the show because I have a mysterious wound and I actually don't know what happened. It might have happened while I was sleeping. So maybe, we can get into the details of that later.
Yeah. Dr. Zed is a great resource for advice about, mystery wounds, bites, anything that you might encounter that is unusual or surprising. Dr. Zed, do you actually have any advice for Ilana or, people like Ilana who might notice that they have mystery wounds on their person as the zombie apocalypse is playing out?
The mystery wound problem, that could be an issue, with, in the pre-apocalypse, the before times, we worried about, if you encounter a bat in your bedroom at night, or when you wake up in the morning, you have to worry that you may have been bitten and you could have rabies. So something similar during the zombie apocalypse is a very real concern. The key for all wounds is just to get it washed out just as well as you can. So tons and tons of water. Lots of soap. And there's nothing wrong with soap and water. We know that is effective for a whole variety of infectious agents. So while we're sorting out exactly what is the agent responsible for this zombie apocalypse, maybe it's a prion, maybe it is a virus, we need to sort that out. But soap and water is a great place to start.
Great. Thank you for that advice, Dr. Zed. So we have a lot of our crew here right now. We have, Dave. Dave and I are co-hosting both Undead Live, our news show, and our evening show, Late Night Brains. Late Night Brains basically is a place for us to bring on the featured speakers of the day, and we talk with each of them, and then we have a chance to chat all together. And we're also going to be joined on Late Night Brains by Baba Brinkman, who is here with us now, and he's going to be doing some wrap-ups of the day. Baba, can you talk with us briefly about this wrap-up concept? Where did this come from, and what is it like when you're wrapping up a meeting?
Yeah, where it comes from, not many people ask about that, but I'll tell you, which is that when I first declared that my intention was to be a rapper as my professional career, I was 19 years old. I'm midway through an English literature degree, and my dad is the CEO of a company that does reforestation in Canada and has like 1,500 employees. So how does your titan of industry father respond to the "I want to be a musician and poet" narrative? He didn't discourage me at all, but he did say, you got to come to all my business meetings and rap summaries of them now to prove your chops. So I used to actually sit in on his board of directors meetings and like supervisors orientation meetings and take notes in my rap notebook really fast. And it would be like a 2-hour meeting. And then my dad would be like, all right, we're going to give my son a chance to show his rap skills because rap is what he wants to do. So do a rap about everything you just heard. And I'd do it. And then after I'd done that a few times, I started volunteering to do it at other gigs where I was booked to perform, and the name Wrap Up kind of inevitably comes because lots of other people would pun that thinking they're being clever, and Convergent Evolution determined that has to be the name. So now I do it quite frequently as a kind of entertainment service. I'm literally like listening all day, writing notes on everything I hear, and the goal is to very quickly write a whole song that names every person that spoke during the day and summarizes the themes of the various talks, and is fun and entertaining. And the funny thing about them is no one cares that wasn't there. It's like Zen art. It washes away. If you weren't there at the meeting all day, none of the jokes will make any sense, and none of the references will connect at all. But for the people that are there, it really works. And everyone's like, oh my God, that's the thing the person said that he just used in his rap. And I really have a lot of fun doing them. And there's a ton of adrenaline involved as well, because when you have to perform and you got a blank sheet of paper and you're like, fill it up with something clever quick. And there's something about that, like, inescapable deadline where you will either have something or not have something that, for me, produces let's say, terror-driven creativity. And in my experience, it tends to really work. And I tend to come up with stuff that if I had more time to prepare, I would be like, no ideas coming. Maybe I'll go make a sandwich.
Baba, that resonates so much. This idea of terror-driven creativity. I mean, like, that's what we're doing with Channel Zed, right? It's the apocalypse is going on, and we have to improvise our way through it.
We are living it, and we need to learn some skills.
Literally how. Yeah, it's actually truly how this originated way back in early March.
Well, there's something about the genius of, like, you know, figure something out or you're dead in 10 seconds that everyone resonates with. That's what makes the zombie stories so powerful to watch. And, you know, there's an aspect of that in the creative arts world as well, with improvisation and spontaneity. People love watching it. It's a funny thing because, you know, I come from a hip hop background. You know, that seems weird to say as a middle-class white Canadian, but as soon as I started, like, deciding I wanted to be into hip hop, I'd go to every open mic, every freestyle battle, every live show in my city, and really sort of, like, absorb the culture. And I rap now for a lot of people that didn't grow up hip hop and don't consider themselves hip hop. And my experience, there's like a little, I don't think I'm going to like this. I'm not sure about rap. It's a little aggressive and controversial. And if I'm just like, watch this, and I do a freestyle, it doesn't matter who they are, how old they are. They could be 80. They could barely speak English. They love freestyle. Everyone loves freestyle because there's a universal human sort of resonance with the mind doing something creative that's impossible to fake. See, cheater detection is all about freestyle, right? You got to show them that it's happening now, and you're not sneaking in some written lyrics. Different than a wrap up, right? Wrap up is written just really fast, but a freestyle is like, this has to have happened in this exact moment. And if you can prove that you're doing that, then people connect with it.
Baba, would you be up for doing a little freestyle for us? And I might bring in some of the comments that we're getting from the audience at the same time as well. What do you think?
Totally, yeah. So whatever you push to the screen, I'll reference, and I also will take inspiration from some of what we talked about in the last half hour as well. Cool.
Great. And those of you who are actually listening to us on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, you can type your comments right into your platform, and we will be able to pull them in for Baba. And for those of you who are on the call here with us on the stream, you can post your comments just in the post a comment to all, and I can pull them in for Baba too. All right, Baba, you're on.
All right, here we go. And now I've just set myself up with a lot of pressure, right? Here comes the cheater detection. All right, I'll use my zombie apocalypse beat again. Yeah. Yo, Baba Brinkman, I'm connected like a sleepover. Carlo O'Malley wants me to rap about a leaf blower, assisted airborne virus infections and vectors. Check it out, I'm a freestyle, a hip-hop connector. That's how it goes, yeah. I'm gonna spit it, I'm gonna have to brag. And yes, indeed, I got my go bag. These are my bloody rags. I'll take them with me right now to get up in this section. I'll flip the record. What I'm showing you now is the zombie section, the testing, the way that I gotta run. I'm kind of taking it to a new place when I'm basing it on that zombification. How many types are there? I mean, come on, what planet am I on? It's the neurons. Is it done by some viruses or some prions? Yeah, check it out. I go to sleep though. A neat flow is what I'm spitting now. I'm John Lennon from the Beatles. Yes, indeed, that burning beats happened up in Germany when they used to spit the split clubs, the strip clubs. I rip it up. Yeah, this is the freestyle rap, and it's not practice. I'm gonna have to adapt to it. It's straight up off the head, but I've got all those wound binding tricks like Dr. Zedd. Is how it goes. This is my rap business. Athena Actipus is how I just go to sleep and I dream. I'm also obsessed with memes. That's the way they spread in every direction. You can find them the way they're up in that Twitter section or maybe on Instagram. These are some jams that I'm kicking, man. See, this is the way that I kick it. This era I'm living is a crazy time for pandemics that's terror driven. We've got to improvise and be creative in academia and show some people out there that nobody is insane as us. Yeah, that's the way that I rock it. It's so surprising. That's the way college teaching will be revolutionizing. I'm driving lots of styles as I'm blindingly just displaying my rap style right now. It's It's straight up zombification because I'm a slave to the rhythm. I'm straight up a slave to the beat. That's the way that I show off my mad insane technique. It's how it goes. Blood pressure cuffs, they're kind of useless. You heard Dr. Zedd say that. It's straight up toothless. I'm rocking this. It's straight up out of the top apocalypse. I'm dropping this. I'm the speaker. Big up Liz Grumback with Brain Dead Theater. And Ilana Rein is straight up freestyles off the brain. And yeah, that's where you get those prions and start going insane. Yes, indeed. Check it out. I'ma have to speak. I'm ready to battle anytime. Lawrence Ian Reed, just step up to the stage right now. This is hip hop. All you got to do is get creative with that improv. I'll never get off until the hook comes to pull me to the side. I'm brilliancy, rapping brilliantly. I got a battle rap for a million MCs. What you're watching right now is nothing but resiliency. Yeah, check it out. I'm not dead. I'm just rapping off the head, trying to figure out what to say, this and that instead. Anyway, this is all the freestyle that you're gonna get. If you want to hear more, you better sign up for Zam instead. Bet.
Amazing.
Yay. That was fantastic.
Wow.
Dr. Zedd is not worthy.
Thank you for that. That was absolutely phenomenal, Baba. And this is what we're going to get every night on Late Night Brain. So make sure that you tune in for our late night wrap up with Baba Brinkman and having a chance to chat with all of our guests. We just want to remind you all, if you have not yet registered, zombiemed.org. The meeting starts on Thursday morning, and we just absolutely can't wait to have all of you hosting our shows and joining us. You can join us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Dave, any last words before the stream goes dead?
No, just thank you guys all for joining us. And everyone out there, remember, the best way for us to survive and thrive in the zombie apocalypse is for us to all share our brains. So.
Yes, don't forget to share those brains. And we will see you all at ZAM.
Stay safe,
Bye.
everybody.
See you guys there. Can't wait.
Bye, all.